very beginning, season 2, episode 4, where we would see Bumblebee still going off to basically get another artifact. But it's the same thing as usual. It's Mech trying to lure Autobots and Decepticons. And Bumblebee still gets his T-Cog removed. Before I continue with the story, I want to mention something. Jazz gained a new vehicle form basically, and he was also shown around Earth or like how new bot would be, like how Smokescreen was like. He was like shown the rules of Earth and all that and many other things. And yeah, now we can continue with our story. Now Bumblebee will still get his T cog removed, and in this timeline, instead of like Bulkhead coming in or any other Autobot, it's actually Skyfire who was actually patrolling with him, and he saw Bumblebee signal not go offline but twitch a bit. So he quickly went to check and saw Bumblebee knocked out and sees a helicopter leaving. And he transforms and lands and is confused and asks Bumblebee if he's okay. And Bumblebee wakes up and he says in his bleeping voice, "Yeah, but I feel like something's missing in me." Hey, it's alright, kid. We have to quickly inform Maximus. Now, quickly, Skyfire will transform and starts flying, and we will see Bumblebee struggling to transform. Seeing this, Skyfire will quickly go back and transforms and lands in front of him and asks, "Kid, what the hell's going on?" And Bumblebee looks up with the same face, he would look up like the same way he looked at Bulkhead. And seeing this, quickly Skyfire decides to scan him, and after scanning him, he's like, "What the hell, kid? Your T-cog, it's missing." Hearing this shocks Bumblebee, and Skyfire's like, "Huh? But why would the Decepticons take your T-cog? That's kind of stupid." Unless both looking at each other, realizing there's only one factor that would do that: mech. So they will quickly go back to base, but Skyfire will transform to his vehicle form and allow Bumblebee to enter in him. And if you're wondering how big, like how many bots can fit inside of Skyfire, I would say maybe, six. Yeah, at maximum he can fit six. Six bots can fit inside of him basically, at least. And he flies back to base, and Starscream will arrive like it did in Canon, and yeah. Now you would see Skyfire come back to base with Bumblebee, and they would inform every Autobot, including Optimus. Now Optimus hears this and is a bit shocked to hear that Mech is back. Now Optimus knows that this is going to be a bit of a struggle, as Mech is quite dangerous, you can say, in human ways, you can say. With this, Optimus would inform Bumblebee that he has to stay for now, as they would try their best to get his T-Cog. Now, the rest of the episode, I would say, plays out the same. But at the end of the episode, where Bumblebee went on that mission with Bulkhead, it's gonna be a bit different, as Bulkhead doesn't go alone. Neither he doesn't just bring Bumblebee. Cliffjumper and Wheeljack accompany them, and the four of them are basically brought straight towards the same location, and busy fighting breakdown and knockouts. The two Decepticons are doing a 1v2. Bumblebee and Cliffjumper work together to fight off who's this? Knockout. And breakdown is busy fighting Wheeljack and Bulkhead. Both bots are getting overwhelmed until a certain Decepticon comes in, which is Blitzwing, who quickly arrives and starts attacking them. And he would basically knock Bumblebee and Cliffjumper away, and he will look at Knockout and says, "Get the artifact straight to Lord Megatron. I got this." Hearing this, Knockout's like, "Ah, you're a lifesaver." Transforms and drives off. Seeing this, Wheeljack will quickly rush in and starts helping out the other bots, and he basically kicks Blitzwing at the back. Blitzwing turns around and is like, Wheeljack, it's been a while. I haven't fought a record for like how long? 20 megacycles? And then Wheeljack says, well humans call it 20 years, so yeah, it's been a while. I'm gonna enjoy beating you to a bloody pulp. Can't wait to kill you. Hearing this, Wheeljack is like, as if you can kill me. And they start fighting. And quickly, Cliffjumper's like, scrap. B, you have to go get the artifact from Knockout. Then Bumblebee looking at his brother like, I can transform. Then Cliffjumper's like, scrap. Scrap. Okay, be creative. And he quickly rushes in to help out Wheeljack. And seeing this, Bumblebee's like, how am I gonna be creative? But then Bumblebee's like, let's hope this works. And he does the same thing he does in canon, but yeah, the episode ran off the same. Now we would skip to part two of Operation Bumblebee, which is episode 5. And we would see Bumblebee in the medical lab. You can say getting repairs and also waking up from the knockout he got. Oh dang! I made a pun by mistake. And we can continue. And yeah, now the other Autobots are scolded by Ironhide and Optimus. Well, mostly Ironhide, as Optimus is like, next time be a bit more careful. And Ironhide's like, you fragging idiots. If you do this one more time, I'm gonna beat you all to a bloody pulp. Something like that. If not, I'll say a little bit better. But yeah, you can say Optimus is like, you know that teacher who's always kind to you and talks to you in a soft way. Yeah, Ironheart is that teacher who basically scream at you if you do something stupid again. And even though he doesn't mean it, he just wants you to do better, you can say. Best way I can describe it. But yeah, most of the episode will play out the same. But the mission to get the Forge of Solus Prime would play a bit different, as Optimus decides to bring a few more Autobots and leaves a few more behind. And I would say Ratchet does try to like donate his T-Cog, but yeah, we will know. We all know how that scene's gonna go. Most of the Autobots have to leave. Now, Optimus decides to bring like only a few. He leaves since Ratchet's technically knocked out. He doesn't really leave him. He has to. And so sorry about me snuffling and all that. But yeah, he leaves Ratchet behind. Now, Jazz, Cliffjumper, and Bumblebee are the three main Autobots who stay behind, while Optimus, Ironhide, Bulkhead, Wheeljack, Skyfire, and RC are the ones to go on the mission. And every single bot basically ground bridges there, and everyone basically goes inside of Skyfire and basically blasts off straight towards where the Decepticons are. Since he's a jet, it's easier, and they will arrive there way earlier. So early they don't even know what the artifact is. So yeah, but Optimus would, Optimus will basically have to fight off Knockouts by himself because no one has an artifact. And since the Sword of Judgment has incredible abilities, it also has a very unique ability. Um, it can kind of cut through anything with its, since it's a very flaming sword, it's always hot. So Prime basically cuts through the energy shield that Knockout created, and Knockout will look at him like, how, and Prime just kicks him away. And yeah, I would say Blitzwing and Arachnid are there because the Decepticons are gonna need it. RC will obviously fight off Arachnid because she wants payback for tailgates. And Bulkhead and Wheeljack work together to basically fight off Blitzwing. And Blitzwing will say, two wreckers for the price of one? Crazy. Once I'm done with the two of you, I'm gonna kill Ironhide next. And Bulkhead is like, as if. Wheeljack's like, alright, round 2. But this time, I'm not holding back. And both quickly rush in. Bulkhead will use his strength and durability to basically take the attacks and dish out strong attacks, while Wheeljack will use his speed and agility to basically outmaneuver and outpace split screen. And both are working great together as they've been fighting side by side for years. So yeah, you could say one of the best record duos. You can say, yeah, they're doing great. And you would see Iron Knight basically fighting off Breakdown, and yeah. So Oxmus is basically handling who's this knockouts, and Oz is fighting off Arachnid and Bulkhead and Swim, and we would see Oxmus knocking out knockouts, and we would see Bulkhead, Wheeljack fighting off Blitzwing, and we would see Aussie firing off Arachnid and Bo. No, not sorry. I was gonna say Breakdown. Breakdown's firing off Ironheart. Now, quickly, Skyfire will basically come in and use his flamethrowers to basically burn through the rocks, and he grabs the Fortress Prime. Even though it's a bit heavy, he manages to grab it, and he tells Oximus about it. And Oximus sees this, and he will basically throw a knockout straight towards Breakdown, sending them both flying and crashing straight to the mountain behind them, and they overwhelm the other two Decepticons. Megatron will come in, and he manages to you can say come in last minutes. Like when the Autobots surround them, a ground bridge is open behind the Decepticons, and quickly Megatron will grab all of them and they'll quickly go through. Optimus is shocked by this and gets mad, but quickly calms down, realizing Megatron is just a slippery snake. Prime is bad from this, but there's nothing he can do. And all of them will go back to base. And we would see basically Bumblebee getting his T-Cog put inside of him. And Optimus is like, Ratchet, did you actually remove your T-Cog? Ratchet's like, well, no. They managed to get Bumblebee's T-Cog back, actually. What happened? Cliffjumper's like, haha, funny story. 45, 45 minutes earlier. Now, we would basically see Jazz about to open up Ratchet, but then we would basically hear Agent Fowl's voice saying that he found Meg's base. And hearing this, Bumblebee, Cliff, and Jazz all look at each other and all realize, oh, payback time. And all three of them basically ground based towards Meg's base, and they would arrive and basically see Starscream there, and Bumblebee gets pissed, and Jazz is like, isn't that Screamer? And Cliff is like, yep. Hey Jazz, you should have been here ages ago. He tried to kill me actually. What? Yeah. Yeah, I think I might kill him at this point. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Wanna cook? Say less. And they will basically go through and start attacking the whole place. And Jazz will go straight and attack Starscream, while Cliff and Bumblebee work together to basically overwhelm the humans and get his T-Cog, which they managed to do. But Starscream is getting manhandled by Jazz, and Jazz is like, Starscream, always the most useless of the useless. You never could get the job done. You always run away like the coward you are. If there is a multiverse, I bet you're always a coward in the entirety of the multiverse. Here in the Starscream is like, you always talk too much. As he shoots a rocket launcher straight, no, not a rocket launcher, he shoots a rocket straight towards Jazz's face. But Jazz, having quick reflexes like Spider-Man, dodges it, grabs it, and basically slams it on Starscream. Well, on Starscream's leg, blowing it up. Starscream screams in pain, and Starscream look at Jazz like, you'll never win this war. This war will never be won by you Autobots. And hearing this, Jazz is like, really? Explain why. Because Optimus is always holding back, which means he's holding all of you back. Jazz hears this and says, you're right, but what's the chance that you Decepticons won't break him to the point he stops holding back and goes all out? Hearing this, Starscream is like, doesn't matter, Jazz. You're just gonna capture me and put me straight into prison. Jazz is like, who said that? Wait. Aren't you gonna do that? Oh, Starscream. Unlike Optimus, I don't keep loose ends. As Jazz basically takes out his gun, points it straight at Starscream's face and says, Adios, Screamer, and blows it straight off. And yeah, Starscream's dead. Yeah, I was never planning on letting him live really because Starscream is just the thing is anything he does is useless and is stupid. So yeah, screw the guy. And yeah, we would cut back to the Araba base after Bumblebee and Cliff got a Beast Teacock. And after the recap, Oximus is like, so Starscream is dead. And just like, yep. And Oximus will look at Jazz like, huh, well, that's interesting. Well, Starscream was always a loose end, so reasonable. And yeah, we will cut to episode 6, where we would see hear Agent Follower say, "Prime, there's something going on," and Optimus is like, "Agent Follower, what's going on?" And Agent Follower would explain there's Autobots busy fighting with the Decepticons, but then Optimus says, "But everyone is here." And hearing this, Agent Fowler was like, then who are these two guys? As he shows a picture of two new Autobots. And Jazz is like, huh, I never expected to see them. And Optimus is like, the brothers. Quite interesting. And Bumblebee's like, my two old buddies. Cliff is like, man, all hell is gonna break loose. Arcee's like, I wish I wasn't a female right now. There's a reason why she said that. Yeah. And Skyfire is like, more speedsters. Great. We're just gonna be blitzing the Decepticons. Bulkhead and Wheeljack looking at each other and realizing this is gonna be a long day. As we would see through the monitor that it's Sunstreaker and Sideswipe, and the Autobots will quickly ground bridge and see the two bots busy duking it out with Dreadwing, and they are having a bit of struggling time with him, but they overall just use their speed and agility to just outmaneuver and outpace him and just quickly going to put some shots in and quickly go out to not get shot in. That's not bad. Yeah, and we would see the Autobots quickly coming in. Optimus would take out the Sword of Judgment and turn it on, and rushes in, and he quickly basically does a fiery slash Dreadwing moves away, but it slices his ship in half. Seeing this shocks Dreadwing as he says, "No, the Sword of Judgments? How do you have that?" Optimus turns around and says, "Come here, come and fight me, and then I'll tell you." But we would see Agent Follow come in as usual, and Dreadwing scanning his jet and flying off. And we would see basically Sunstreak and Sideswipe look at each other and like, wait, is that Optimus? It is. Huh. Hey, Sunstreak, is it me or does he look more. Well, does he look more powerful? I mean, he kind of looks the same to me. The only difference is that big sword right there. Yep. Wait, it's not the sword of judgment? Sunstreaker like, it is. Well, I'm guessing he probably wants us to join the team. Sideswipe like, to be fair, it's been annoying with you, so I want to see more people. But then Sunstreaker's like, I bet you'll join immediately if there's a female involved. And Sideswipe's like, you know me, bro. I'm always the ladies' favorites. As both of them walk up to Optimus and are happy to see him. And Optimus brings them back to base and everything and asks them what's going on. And they would explain the story. They would explain both of them were busy flying off into space and they encounter a Autobot who was a wrecker, which is Sea Spray. RIP. And they would explain they did a wrong viewpoint, but Dreadwing got to him first. Basically the same story as Wheeljack, but it's just Sunstreak and Side, so I've explained it. And they would explain Dreadwing killed him. Now Wheeljack is mad. Same with Bulkhead, Iron Knight, and every other Autobot. Mostly the three of them because they're wreckers, and that was their wrecker buddy, so they're extremely pissed off. And he would, Wheeljack would be like, ugh, Dreadwing. Once I get my hands on him, he's dead. Optimus hears this and is a bit saddened to hear Autobot has fallen, but asks if they would join Team Prime. And both of them kind of agree, but then RC is like, are you sure? And then the moment they see her, they're like, yes, we're immediately joining, sir. And yeah, join because of that, but yeah. Now we will cut to the Certicon ship where Dreadwing basically kneels and declares his loyalty to his master Megatron and everything else. But the episode will end off like that because remember, Skyquake is not dead, so basically Dreadwing has no reason to get revenge on the Autobots. And we will cut to episode 7 basically the assassination of Arachnid. And that episode pretty much goes kind of the same. The only difference is that Starscream is not there. But it doesn't really matter. Now, obviously, Arachnid will send one of her Insecticons to basically fight Megatron like she did. But the thing is, since Starscream is not there to inform the Autobots, none of them basically come. So this is just Megatron fighting Arachnid and her Insecticon, and her getting pissed up because Dreadwing and a bunch of other Decepticons come in along with Skyquake and Blitzwing and yada yada yada. Arachnid barely escapes with her life and finds the Insecticon hive, and that will be the end of episode 7 and this part because like I always say, I'm busy, so peace.